So a program that has been pretty scarred by portal movement the last couple of years at the quarterback position, to be exact, got some really good news as Washington State quarterback Zevi Eckhaus has withdrawn from the transfer portal. He had a breakout performance in the Holiday Bowl. And of course, Cam Ward, now a year plus ago, entered the portal, ends up at Miami, has the season he has. John Mateer at Oklahoma now after the incredible year he had for the Cougars. And now Eckhaus, who again, breakout performance in the Holiday Bowl against Syracuse. Syracuse wins the game, but you put up a bunch of yards, put up a bunch of points, and scored a bunch of touchdowns. If you're Washington State, 35 points, but Eckhaus looked the part. And of course, bringing over Jimmy Rogers from South Dakota State as their head coach. Really important for them to get a bit of continuity, even though he wasn't the starter there this year. You got a good idea of what you have in him, and you don't have to go out and get another quarterback now.
Yeah, West Coast guys from Culver City, Los Angeles area, 6', 200. That bowl game was really coming out party. We saw a lot of tweets like, man, what is Washington State doing at quarterback? Of course, Cam Ward, one of the best players in the country. He leaves. Then you get John Mateer, one of the best players in the country. He leaves. And now Zevi Eckhaus goes out there in the Holiday Bowl and shows what he can do. Didn't come out of nowhere. This is a guy who's played a lot of football, played at the FCS level at Bryant. He was a finalist for the Walter Payton Award, which is basically the FCS Heisman. Jimmy Rogers, old quarterback, who we'll talk about, Mark Gronowski. He was the winner of that award. A lot of people thought that Mark Gronowski would follow his coach from South Dakota State to Washington State. Obviously, that's off the table now. But I think a smart move to keep what you already have in-house. This is someone who knows the system, or I say knows the system, new system, but knows the program,
the environment,
and environment, and is known there. And again, has a lot of snaps. He was at the FCS level at Bryant, 8,500 yards, 75 touchdowns. So he is experienced. Has played now at the college level as a starter, or at the FBS level, I should say, as a starter, and held out well. So I think it's good to have a little continuity. It's very interesting to see what the impact is going to be for Mark Gronowski. This is arguably the best player at the FCS level. For South Dakota State, help lead them to multiple championships. What's going to happen with him on the open market? I think it makes more sense for him to go to a big Power 4 school as opposed to Washington State anyways, just for his exposure from an NFL draft standpoint. But real effect. And are we going to see Mark Gronowski fill one of these vacancies at a big Power 4 school? That's going to be very interesting to watch, because you will continue to see Power 4 teams that need quarterbacks. We talk about Miami quite a bit as a team that needs quarterback. North Carolina, right? Two big ACC schools that will need a starting quarterback. Does Mark Gronowski get pushed into that realm? Does a team like Ohio State say, hey, Gronowski reminds us a lot of Will Howard. We do have Julian Sain here, but why don't we just bring in Gronowski and keep the party rolling with a very similar style of quarterback? So this one move, Zevi Eckhaus returning to Washington State could have significant implications downstream with big Power 4 schools.
Appreciate everyone who's on with us now. We got over 50 live with us. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Heel919 says we want Canes talk. That will come on Canes Insight. We'll be going live after this show. I have a few more topics to get to here on Group Chat Football Live, but we appreciate you being on here. JR Godfather says, unfortunately, Heel is a national show. Nothing unfortunate about it, man. Fortunately, it's both. Both are great, man.
You're going to get both.
Again, guys, thank you once again. Like, subscribe. Canes Cat, he says, shout out Coach Merritt. Yeah, Zevi Eckhaus from Bryant. Coach Merritt, was coaching here at Columbus High School in Miami, and is the head coach of Bryant. So obviously the guy that coached him and recruited him over there to Bryant.